the draft has just ended, but it looks like you got especially quite a few forwards.
Yeah. Obviously, I think if you look at, our depth chart, we've drafted a lot of D over, the previous drafts, and coming in, you kind of set your list up but if you have a demon that you really like, you're certainly going to step up and take them. But just the way it went, we thought we addressed, a lot of needs up front. Scoring, we got some speed, we obviously got some competitiveness, some smarts. So we thought, what we wanted to do over the last couple of days, we were able to do it, and probably just like 32 other teams were excited with what we did today.
With Plant, what was the appeal there?
We interviewed him throughout the season. Great kid, character kid. Obviously grew up around the game. You could tell that by talking to him. The hockey sense of where he can play up and down the lineup was something that we kept coming back to that. And just a player that it seemed, the lines that he was on just seemed to play well that night. He's smart. He can play on the penalty kill. He can play on the power play. And the important thing that we love is he can play with really good hockey players, and he showed that. So and then talking to a lot of his teammates, as we interview them and talk to them, they had a lot of positive things to say about the way he played, the way he carried himself. So we feel we got real nice hockey player in Max with everything that he can do, and certainly really like the hockey sense and how he can pass the puck.
Playing against his dad, does he play similar style? And does he have that quickness?
That's probably, his dad would be a better skater, but you could probably ask his dad. He might agree that his son's probably smarter than he is. I hope he agrees. But like I said, that's something that that we came back to. Obviously, hockey sense is a big thing that we look for and want to draft, and felt that he had it. So on day two, you're kind of sitting there and you're not quite sure if he's going to be there when we were going to select, but obviously the way it worked out, and very happy that we're able to pick Max.
Becker, the third-round pick, seemed like he had a big breakout this year. What did you see kind of in his game?
Exactly. Played on a very offensive team in PG. We saw him quite a bit this year on international play as well. It just looked like everything potentially that he had, maybe as a 17 and 18-year-old, kind of hit as a 19-year-old. Got a great opportunity and took advantage and looked really comfortable. And he's a kid that certainly put up great numbers, and his skating is something that when you watch him play, he has that extra gear that you talk about. So it was same thing. He just kind of they had a good team to watch. Obviously Parasak was there, one of his teammates, and he was somebody that you go in and watch a lot of, and kind of come away thinking, this Besher, he's a pretty good prospect too, and so it was great to be able to see him play in the Western Hockey League, and then obviously be able to do background check too with him, with obviously how he grew up in Czech. So just one of those, another guy that you're sitting there and you watch him, and is able to bring speed and skill set, and just you could arguably say one of those late bloomers that he's just kind of starting to come into his own and starting to feel comfortable about the type of player that he could possibly be.
Forsland's a guy who's also scored a lot of goals, albeit at the lower levels of Swingers hockey. Is looking in like a more of a long-term project?
We do, and going into Mora, where obviously Brandstad Nygaard played, and how that organization has done well with good young hockey players, so that kind of played into it. Actually interesting, I was over in Sweden. I was supposed to go see Badinka play, and he ended up being a healthy scratch. I was literally getting on the train to Gothenburg to go watch him play, and I got the call from Hawken that Badinka's not playing, but we'd like you to go see Charlie Forsland. And I don't even know where I went. It might have been the hometown of Falun. It was deep in Sweden to go watch him play, and like you said, lower level, and playing against those men at a lower level. I mean, Charlie stood out. He's got good size. He can skate. He can really shoot the puck. Had a couple goals that game, and obviously, we did a lot of background check and information on him, and you're kind of sitting there and just thinking, this, potentially, could be something that could be real good for us down the road. But like where he's going right now, obviously going to play into more, and those are important with development-wise. Picking somebody like Charlie that has kind of been off the radar, and all of a sudden is starting to play, and now we can going into a good organization and continue to develop. So looking forward to getting him into Detroit for Dev Camp for sure.
Dev Camp is such a valuable experience for a lot of these young guys. As a staff, how do you kind of approach the next few days here?
You know what? It's we just try to give these these prospects as much information as we can over the next 5 days. Really, just the importance of off ice training. We're a big believer in that. So get those guys in the gym, learning to train, how important it is, training properly, their nutrition, the sleep, and really just all pro habits. And I think for us, it's you're able to walk in that dressing room and obviously see Nick Lidstrom, you see Nicholas Cronwall, Dan Cleary, Sean Horkoff. You just go down the list of guys that have been there and done that, and just to be able to have these conversations and impact these prospects at such a young age is something important. So we just want to get them all in, make them feel comfortable, obviously welcome to the city, to the organization, and then just give them as much information as we can over the next 4 or 5 days. And Dan Cleary and Nicholas Cronwall, they run our development camp, and they do an incredible job with these young prospects. So I think it's going to be it'll be great for them, and they're certainly all excited to get in there.
What did you like about the other two program kids, Whipple and Baker?
Whipple, just the way he skates, how steady he is, how competitive he is. That's really like the way he played there. At the U18s and in any international event, he looked comfortable probably playing against the other team's best players, top players. But those would probably be the attributes that really stood out for us is the competitiveness and the way that he skates, and those were and defense hard, so those would be the things that we like. With Austin Baker, big strong kid, powerful skater. This kid is very athletic. The way he skates, the way he moves, the way he trains. A lot of great feedback from how he is, in the weight room, and he's that type of player that can bring a lot of energy with the way that he skates. So looking at those two guys, that was something we were excited about.
Sorry, kind of off the beaten path on this, though, but the program's going to play the CHL stuff, that series
Yeah.
next year. I'm just curious, as someone who to have that kind of, what kind of asset is that to kind of be able to see some of that?
Can't wait. I think anytime you put these prospects in a highly competitive atmosphere, that's when you see them at their best. So I think it was actually a brilliant idea to do this, and you get all of Canada's the top eligible prospects coming in against the development program and watch the way they compete. And everyone knows there's a huge rivalry now with Canada, US, and I think it's going to bring out the absolute best in all these kids. So that's something that is going to be circle the calendar, and can't wait to watch something like that. For me, I love watching these top prospects play in big games and competitive games, and in that kind of atmosphere. And I think that's exactly what it's going to be. So, like I said, can't say enough about doing this, and I think it's going to be great for guys like myself and what we do.
The reports have